Back to today, the Philippines was ravaged by Typhoon Katsana last year, leaving 80% of the capital of Manila underwater. City volunteers brought aid and material support to the victims. And beginning today, we start a series of reports on how life in the Marikina area of Metro Manila has improved since the storm.
While snatching a break from the busy work, Manila Bay looks beautiful, serene, and lush. The landscape itself is a restful sight. The Philippines is composed of 7,107 islands, glittering pearls spread across the Asia-Pacific tropics.
The water was rising, and so my daughter had to swim over here to trip the circuit breaker. The lost money is no big deal. I kept praying to the master, please bless and protect us. Don't let our warehouse burn down. If the warehouse burns, it will hurt our neighbors and all those poor people there.
Not worried about losses, Xu's single-minded concern was that their chemical warehouse might catch fire and explode and harm innocent people. A year later, and one can still see the fear in her eyes. Xu Yingying is the wife of Li Weisong, the director of Tzu Chi Philippines. Their family were also among Katsana's victims, with the home, an office, a warehouse, and 9 vehicles, all submerged underwater. But Director Li was nowhere to be found when cleanup time came.
It was awful. 80% of Manila was submerged. We knew Tzu Chi should help somehow, and the different chapters all worked together. When the disaster victims heard we were giving 400 pesos a day for cleaning up, they couldn't believe it. Nobody had ever done that before.
No one had ever done anything like it before. Tzu Chi's relief work program started out with 150 participants and grew to more than 10,000 shifts a day as people cleaned up their homes and neighborhoods. In a short 18 days, these thousands of participants had cleared more than 10 whole roads.
To say we weren't tired would be lying. We were all tired. Some of us, me included, had runny noses from colds, but we had to keep on. Looking back on it, those 18 days were so wonderful. Every effort invested was rewarded in full.
The typhoon caused us suffering, but also good fortune, because we got to know Tzu Chi, and they taught us a very deep lesson in humanity, and it has stayed in our hearts.
Morning. Giving and receiving are things no one ever forgets. Whether through relief work programs, free clinics, or aid distributions, volunteers pushed themselves to help their communities however they could. 1 year later, and what seemed like an impossible mission is already complete.